Welcome to our presentation. My friend Ali and I will talk about the foreign language learning process, which is a process in which we are also involved. During our presentation, we'll benefit from the results of a survey we have done before. We hope we will have an enjoyable presentation together. In the survey, which we conducted with a total of 55 participants, all of our participants are young people between the ages of 17 and 23 and are mostly university students. In summary, we can say that our participants are most likely students who have not yet regained their economic freedom and they are trying to live.
In the first question, we asked participants how many languages they speak. Actually, considering the foreign language education in Turkey, answers are not that shocking. 85% of them had said that they speak only one or two foreign language, and only 14% of them speak 3 or 4 foreign languages, which is quite low compared to developed European countries. To increase this rate, parents have a significant role. The parents who think foreign language is important send their children to private language courses. Yet, sometimes it is not that easy for kids to focus on foreign language education because of school lessons. In the second question, we asked our participants how they had learned foreign languages, and 61% of them had said they learned from school, which showed us the inequality in education because all the students are responsible for the same curriculum. And only 61% of them had learned from schools. And 36% of them had learned from private courses. As I stated before, some parents are conscious about foreign language education, so they send their kids to private language courses. However, some parents cannot, even though they want to, because of financial issues. And 25% of them said they learned from YouTube and language learning applications, which is the way that I use as well. Generally on YouTube, people talk like in normal life, so you can learn daily talk on YouTube. And applications are becoming more popular day by day. And there are well enough applications now. Anyways, also 45% of them had said they learned from TV series and movies and also games, which is a common way to learn because when you play a game with foreign people, you have to communicate with them and use the language. Eventually, you end up speaking that language. And movies and series have the same effect as YouTube.
We talked about how many languages our participants knew and how they learned, but which languages would they most like to learn? The answer to this question generally does not surprise me. We know that some certain languages are popular in Turkey. In parallel, French, German, and Spanish are at the top of our list, and they are followed by Russian and Spanish. The part that surprised me in this result, which I thought was formed according to the rate of speaking and BT of being heard, was Japanese, Chinese, and Korean. I expected a higher demand for Chinese, one of the most spoken language in the world. At the same time, I expected that the increasing interest in anime and Korean music groups in our country would increase the desire to learn Japanese and Korean. But contrary to what I expected, they were at the bottom of the list. We know that one of the most important steps in learning a foreign language is to practice. So how many of us have such an opportunity? As you know, the best way to practice is to improve foreign language skills by going abroad and talking to locals. We asked our participants if they had such an opportunity. The results were disappointing, but unfortunately not surprising. As you can see in the graph, almost 90% of our participants did not have such an opportunity. This shows us how effective the economic conditions are. It would be not an exaggeration, I think, to say that language learning depends on economic classes at the same point. Fortunately, these economic conditions don't mean that those who are financially incapable cannot practice. With the developing technology, many foreign language learning applications have become widespread. We can say that these applications, which are much more economical than traveling abroad, bring you abroad. I would like to move on the question we asked the participants by stating that we don't have any cooperation with these applications. We asked our participants whether they use mobile applications to practice. As you can see, 30% of respondents stated that they use these applications. Although the rate is not very high, we have obtained data showing that the use of applications that have become popular recently is increasing day by day.
In the next question, we asked, why do you learn foreign language? And almost 76% of our participants said they learn to improve themselves. Actually, it is fair enough, because as you improve yourself, you catch opportunities in business life too. So I think these two answers are closely related to each other. However, 50% of them learned for their education, and 5.5% of them learned as an obligatory. And I think these are related too, because in most universities, education language is English, so they have to learn it anyways. And in the last question, we asked, do you think the importance of learning a foreign language will decrease due to developing technology? And 70% of our participants think it will. Well, I don't think so. Maybe translators will suffer from unemployment. Nonetheless, and the pleasure of reading a poetry or a novel in the original language won't decrease, or learning a language always keep your brain active and prevent diseases such as dementia or Alzheimer. So this is the end of our presentation. Thank you for listening.